what's going on, guys? It's J Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So I'm currently in the city of Fall River, Massachusetts right now. It's a city on the south coast of Massachusetts. And today we're going to be checking out some pretty dope ruins located in the middle of the woods right along Watuppa Pond. You can actually see currently standing in the middle of these ruins, these huge stone ruins. And you know, it's a pretty interesting story how I actually discovered these. Now, I was driving nearby on Route 24, and when you're on Route 24, just as you go past Watuppa Pond, you can actually see these ruins poking up from the tree line in the distance. It's pretty visible from the highway. And ever since I saw those about a year ago, I was like, damn, those ruins look interesting. You know, what are their story? Well, I ended up researching them, and that's how I found out about the Cook and Durfee Ice House. Now, this was once an ice house owned by the Cook and Durfee Company. It basically operated between 1864 up until 1933, when it was sadly destroyed by a fire. Now, some of you might be wondering, you know, what's an ice house? We don't really have ice houses anymore, so what is it? Well, keep in mind, this is all the way back before refrigeration existed. Back before refrigeration, if you want to keep your food, your goods, all that stuff kept cold, you needed ice. And these ice houses actually produced and distributed ice all around the region. So as I mentioned, this is right nearby Watuppa Pond. Basically, they would harvest ice from the pond, you know, manufacture it here, cut it up into blocks, and distribute it for people to keep their goods and food cold. Basically, refrigeration, pre-refrigeration. Now again, this was owned by the Cook and Durfee Company originally. It did change hands a couple times, up until the fire destroyed it in 1933. But I'm really excited to check out this pretty interesting ice house here in the city of Fall River. Never been here before. I'm excited to check it out, and I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. As always, if you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, history, and New England, I'm always doing stuff like that on this channel. I mean, subscribe, why not, you know what I'm saying? Or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial, that's at JMassOfficial, because you know I'm always posting there. But yeah, let's check it out. This historic and interesting ice house and its ruins here in the city of Fall River. Let's check it out. So as you guys can see, I'm currently standing in front of the ruins of the former ice house, and you can already see this thing is absolutely massive. Very huge. I mean, no wonder it was visible from the highway when I first saw it. Now I think we're just gonna kind of wander around, you know, meander, see what's going on. But these are some pretty dope ruins, most likely made out of cobblestone. I think I see a little bit of cement in there. So I would say maybe a mix of cement and stone, not 100% sure, but that's what it looks like this is made out of. And you can actually peek inside of these ruins too. Although you can tell that it's pretty overgrown. There's a lot of vegetation, you know, plants, bushes, all that stuff. A lot of stuff growing inside the ruins. But again, absolutely massive structure. Now, as I mentioned, this ice house was owned originally by the Cook and Durfee Company, operated between 1864 and 1933. And in 1933, it was unfortunately destroyed by fire. You can actually kind of see that from here. Though I should mention, even though it operated as an ice house during that time, you know, the ice industry was kind of declining by the mid to late 20s, the 1920s. So basically, by the time 1933 came around, the ice industry was extremely tiny. You know, it wasn't what it once was when this thing first opened. Refrigeration units were starting to become more common, you know what I mean? So the need for ice wasn't as great. But damn, these ruins are so big. Check this thing out. Absolutely huge. Yeah, I think we're just gonna kind of wander around, see what's going on. Again, this is my first time personally, so I don't really know this area too well. Also very rocky here, I should say. Just watching my step. It's very rocky, you know, it's a mid-November day, so you got leaves everywhere, a little slippery, but still really cool. Oh, that's so sick, I love that. And I'll also show you a glimpse of it in a second, but we are literally right on the edge of Watuppa Pond. Now, another thing I should mention, this is important, Watuppa Pond is currently the drinking water supply for the city of Fall River. And Fall River is a pretty damn big city. So I personally wouldn't recommend coming here just for the sole reason that you're right nearby public drinking water. You know, you got to keep it safe. But back in the day when this was an operating ice house, they would harvest ice, you know, from this pond in the very cold winter months. And I assume they would take the ice in here, cut it into blocks that could be easily shipped and distributed. And I don't know how far away they shipped the ice. Maybe it was just this specific region, you know, the South Coast. Maybe it was all of New England. I do know back in the day, before refrigeration, they would ship ice everywhere. But still very cool to see. Oh, look at that little channel right there. You know, I could be wrong and I don't want to make assumptions, but this looks like, it almost looks like some sort of chute where they would take ice, put the ice down the chute and bring it up into the ruins. I don't know, maybe. Kind of reminds me of that. Very cool though. I'm gonna do a little bit more poking around, see what we can find, but so far, really fascinating ruins. All right, guys, so we're inside the ruins of the ice house itself right now. As you can see, this at one point was the interior, the inside. Now, obviously, right now, really all we can see are these barren stone ruins. There's not much remnants of what the inside really looked like. Basically what I'm trying to say is I don't know what each room was. I don't know what room I'm currently standing in. I don't know what specific operation was taking place in this room. All I know is that this is the inside of the ice house, but I assume, you know, each room probably had a different purpose. They probably had a distribution section. They probably had a section for cutting the blocks of ice, maybe labeling, stuff like that. Not really sure, but yeah, this is the inside, and it's a really cool structure. Again, like huge place. These are definitely some of the biggest ruins I've seen. You know, I've been to a bunch of ruins on this channel before, and most of them are relatively small, but this is actually a pretty big one. Huge. Again, very visible from Route 24 here in Fall River. But I will say very overgrown. I kind of lucked out coming here in November because a lot of the plants have wilted away and died. I can't even imagine coming here in the summer. It must just be too hard to walk through. You know, it's probably just too dense. Okay, so this is the last room. So it kind of looks like there's 3 rooms. One back there, one here, and then one here. So I would say 3 total rooms, or 3 major rooms. Sure, there's probably smaller things. Pretty cool though. This is kind of dope. Look at this. You can see all the vines growing on the walls of the ice house. So sick. Also a very scenic area. Again, we're in the middle of the woods right now, right by Watuppa Pond. Absolutely gorgeous and scenic natural beauty all around us. See if I can actually poke out through this window right here. Let's see. Yep, look at that right there. That's the woods. You know, obviously when this thing was manufacturing ice, sure, it wasn't the woods. You know, they probably had other buildings, and I couldn't find anything about that online. I'll try to include below if there were any other buildings nearby. Although I will say, when I was walking to this ice house, I actually stumbled upon a cellar hole, a pretty big cellar hole at that. So I'll definitely show you guys that in a little bit. Yeah, very cool though. This is pretty dope ruins. I will admit, you know, there's not a whole lot to see. It's really just these giant walls. But I don't know, I love finding historic ruins, especially historic ruins that we know the history about them. We know what they were used for. Those are the best, and I find that fascinating. And you know, at the end of the day, the ice industry really is such a unique, antiquated industry. I think about all of the industries that once dominated American culture that just don't exist anymore. Like, another one I can think of off the top of my head is milkmen, you know. Basically, those are workers who would travel from house to house bringing bottles of milk, glass bottles of milk. That was because milk spoils pretty easily, and that was also prior to common refrigeration units. Yeah, very cool though. Pretty interesting place. So I think what we're gonna do now is kind of wander around the outside of the ruins, the exterior. Now we just checked out the inside. It was really cool, but admittedly very dense, a lot of vegetation. The outside is a lot more clear though, and as you can see, again, massive walls, pretty dope. So I think we're just gonna walk around, see what the exterior has to offer. Now, a little more interesting history about this place. I did mention earlier the ownership changed hands a couple times. So again, it was founded in 1864 under the Cook and Durfee Ice Company. Now, eventually, Durfee actually completely bought out Cook and was the sole owner, but it later sold it to the Arctic Ice Company. And in 1933, when this place burned down and then closed, it was under the ownership of the Arctic Ice Company. So really it went from Cook and Durfee to just Durfee to the Arctic Ice Company. Pretty fascinating. But I will say, definitely very barren walls, you know. Again, not too much to see, admittedly, but still really cool ruins. I love historical ruins like this. I love that they're still left behind. I'm sure a lot of the other stuff was probably destroyed. Pretty sick, though. Oh, look at this. This is cool. So this, I believe, is the front end, and I say that because, you know, we have remnants of the road right here. This is probably the road where they had cars and trucks and, you know, before cars, horses and buggies coming in to pick up and deliver the ice. Pretty sick. Let's see if we can get a little closer. There is one thing I see right now. I'm trying to get a good view of it to show you guys. And of course, the tree's blocking it. Basically, the year is actually up there. One sec. Yeah, check that out. 1864. 1864. The year the ice house was constructed. And you can see it's dated right there. Absolutely massive. The thing that's kind of cool about this end is you have this huge structure right here, but then you have some remnants of walls. So I almost wonder if this was a whole other room right here that's just kind of been lost to time, you know, probably demolished or collapsed, whatever. And you can see a little bit of graffiti. I do kind of like how this place doesn't have a whole lot of graffiti. It's, you know, relatively left to itself, but you do get a bit here and there. You know, it's not a completely obscure spot. Let's go through here, see what the other side has to offer. Pretty sick. All right, this is the other end, or the other side, I should say, of the ice house. And this is an absolutely gorgeous spot. I love this. Right by Watuppa Pond. And you still got some fall colors coming through too. I love that. Yeah, this is where we just were earlier, inside here. This is, again, the inside of the Cook and Durfee Ice Company ice house. Later, Arctic Ice Company. This is kind of cool. Check this out. Some sort of ladder was once here. Obviously, I can't get up there anymore, but that's cool. There's a ladder up there. I can almost imagine, you know, must have sick views up there. I wonder if you could see the city of Fall River from up there. You could probably see the highway at least. But that's cool. Ladder right there, mostly broken. Kind of wish I could climb up there. Fun fact about JMass, I'm actually not afraid of heights. I do love climbing things, find it fun. So sometimes when I get an opportunity, I'll do it. Pretty cool though. Yeah, and this is the back end of the ice house ruins. I don't want to go too much further. I don't want to walk near the pond. I want to respect the drinking water, but really cool stuff though. I love this place. It's really dope. Yeah, so really sick, guys. That was a lot of fun to explore. Those were the ruins of the ice house here in Fall River, Massachusetts. Once owned by the Cook and Durfee Ice Company, later the Arctic Ice Company, operated between 1864 and 1933. Although, again, I should reiterate that by the mid to late 1920s, the ice industry was already beginning to decline. If a fire didn't destroy this in 1933, I'm sure it would have closed down by that time anyways. But regardless, really cool ruins to check out. Had a lot of fun exploring these. There's a couple more things I want to see. So there's a cellar hole nearby that I walked by. And when you look on Google Maps, I saw some photospheres of like other cellar holes and ruins. I'm going to see if I can find those and put them on the video. It'd be fun to see. I do love cellar holes. But, you know, I just wanted to do one last walk around here at the ice house. Really cool. I had a lot of fun exploring it. And again, you know, I've known about this place for about a year now. When I first saw it on the highway, Route 24, going northward. That's when I first saw it. I'm like, damn, that looks so sick, because it really does peak above the tree line. It's a huge structure. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but you know, let me go on the front really quick. I'll show you how tall it is. It's a really tall structure, especially compared to me. Reminder that I'm only 5'7". Yeah, look at that huge structure. It's massive. But yeah, that was the ice house ruins. Pretty cool. I'm gonna see what else I can find in the area. I know there's a couple more remnants, and then I think that'll about do it. Pretty dope though. All right, guys, so right here are the ruins of the cellar hole that I saw. So I just want to be straight up. I have no clue what was here. I don't know what building was here, what house. I don't even know if it like was really affiliated with the ice house itself, but I did just want to show this off. Thought it was really cool. Again, I love cellar holes. I find them fascinating. If you guys like cellar holes, definitely check out my video at Dana Common. That was a really cool place to see. A lot of cellar holes there, but yeah, so this is a pretty cool cellar hole right here in the middle of the woods. Basically, the ice house was all the way over there. And yeah, this pretty interesting thing. Not really sure what it is. I'll do a little bit more research when I get home, you know, start editing this video. If I find out, I'll include below, but did just want to show off this pretty cool cellar hole. The other thing that's kind of interesting too, and by the way, all of these yellow leaves are coming from these very, very yellow trees, which absolutely stunning. Like, look at that. My God, that's beautiful. But the other thing that's kind of cool, you also got some old ruins here right on the side of this road. Even some stairs right here. So obviously there's nothing here now, but you got this very old staircase, ruins of a staircase. So I assume at one point there's probably another building here. That's kind of why I mentioned earlier, you know, I'm sure the ice house wasn't the only building in this area, but right now there's really nothing else left behind. The ice house is the only ruins left behind, but gonna do a little bit more digging, see if I can find anything else. And otherwise, I think that about does it. Yep, I already found some more ruins, not that far away from the cellar hole. This looks like another sort of cellar hole, not really as deep as the one we just saw, but these are definitely foundations of another building. You can see that there's some concrete and cement left behind, and then these two big foundational structures right here. I don't know if these were like, you know, pillars or columns of some sort. They look like they were maybe for structural support. You know, got a bit of brick right here. Yeah, so this was definitely some sort of man-made structure right here. Not sure what, again, but pretty cool. Another foundation or cellar hole looking thing. Pretty cool. There's a lot of remnants in these woods. Okay, this is really fucking cool. So this is actually what I was looking for. These are some more cellar holes, but these are a lot more full. Got some really big cobblestone foundations right here. I mean, check these out. These are really sick. Huge cellar holes right here. And it even goes on. So you can tell that whatever was here was a massive building. Got some stairs right there, former stairs. You got what looks like some sort of smaller room right here, maybe a hallway. And then this right here looks like it was the biggest room, you know, the biggest part of the house, whatever this was. Check that out, so sick. And even got part of the foundation right here still intact. So this looks like it was probably made out of granite. I assume that's granite. It's all covered in leaves right now, so we can't really get a good look, but this was probably a granite cement stone foundational top right here. And this is so cool. These are some genuinely huge ruins. You know, not to the level of the ice house or anything, but the ice house was more fuller exterior ruins, like overhead. These are all like cellar holes. Check this out. This is massive. This is huge. I really wonder what this was. I did some brief digging online while I was walking over here. I didn't really find anything concrete. Again, if I find out later, I'll include it below. But whatever this building was, it was pretty massive. I almost wonder if it was even like a mansion or something, or like a warehouse. Pretty big building, definitely compared to the first cellar hole we saw. Huge. And again, right here in the middle of the woods. Yeah, I got some more remnants right here. You can actually see a bit of brick right there too. Check that out. Apologies for the noise, loud ass airplane coming by. But yeah, very cool, huge cellar hole ruins. Very interested what this is. I mean, I have no idea. This is fascinating. Actually, before I leave, I just want to take a closer look. So I'm actually down below right now. Just wanted to see what it was like from the bottom level, you know, walking through the cellar hole itself. Pretty fascinating though. A lot of cobblestone, and that's kind of par for the course with cellar holes, especially old ones from the 20th century, all made out of cobblestone. Honestly, I don't even know if that's really the case anymore. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I'm not an architect or an engineer. But I feel like that's kind of standard with older, you know, 19th and 20th century well, and older, of course, but from what I've seen, like 19th and 20th century ruins, cellar holes. Fascinating stuff. This is really interesting. I mean, I kind of knew this was going to be here, but I don't even know what this is, and it's a lot bigger in person than it looks online. I don't actually think this was part of the ice house. I think this was different, mostly because we're actually a ways away from the ice house now, like a 10-minute walk. It's possible it could have worked in tandem with it, but I'm not actually sure. For some reason, I just almost feel like this was a mansion. I don't know. Yeah, very cool, though. This was some pretty fascinating ruins right here in Fall River. Awesome stuff. I loved it. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. So today's exploration was really cool. I enjoyed it. We explored a bunch of old ruins and remnants here in the forests of Fall River, Massachusetts, right along Watuppa Pond. Really cool stuff. Obviously, the main event was the ice house. That ice house was built between 1864 up until 1933 when it was destroyed by a fire and subsequently closed down. And during that time, it was owned by the Cook and Durfee Ice Company, later the Arctic Ice Company. And obviously, you know, it manufactured, shipped, distributed ice all around the region for people to use pre-refrigeration, basically to keep their food and goods cold. I mean, that's what you had to do back in the day. Also, we saw some other pretty cool ruins, a lot of cellar holes, a lot of cobblestone remnants. I don't know what most of them were, but it was still really cool to see. And again, here in the middle of the woods, absolutely gorgeous and scenic location, even just for the natural beauty. I absolutely loved it. Thought it was really cool. But obviously it is near Watuppa Pond, a public drinking water supply. Got to be careful. I didn't go anywhere near the water just for safety. I just wanted to view the historic ruins from a distance, enjoy them, you know, take in the history. And I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, my name's been J-Mass. If you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, history and travel, and New England, follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial, or subscribe to the channel, whatever you want to do. But yeah, guys, I've been J-Mass as always. This was the ice house and the cellar hole ruins here in the city of Fall River, Massachusetts. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.